This podcast is made possible by the generosity of listeners and viewers like you. Kindly consider a contribution through Patreon or PayPal. Links are in the details box. Any amount is appreciated. And follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The handle, The Beirut Banyan. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And to stay updated with video releases, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. I'm Rani Shatar, and this is The Beirut Banyan.
This is a special night because it's the first time we do sampling. I think everything's been tested, so no one's going to pass out. I'd like to introduce two friends that I met just 3 weeks ago, who I've now gotten to know really well.
Yeah.
With MTV and tonight here at Aaliya's, Randy Chartouni and Hoda Rizk, co-founders of a small enterprise, but something that I'm actually, I think, addicted to suddenly. Poppin, Pollen. Addicted because I've just sampled some of your product and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the after effect.
Thank you for the marketing.
Yeah, that's So we will share it as we talk about it. And I think because it's a small audience, there'll be a lot to share. Mm-hmm. Each person will have pollen overdose by the end.
Hopefully, no allergies.
No allergies, no. Let's actually get through the basics first. Just the beekeeping tradition, a general maybe framework of what it's like to be a beekeeper, and maybe a bit about your family tradition.
Yeah. So beekeeping is a natural, like you can go to the nature and work with the bees, and you can feel them. You can see how they react to the nature, to the weather, to the climate. You can understand the life, how they work, and how the life should work. And because they are an example of a good enterprise or community. Yeah, they have a very good leadership, and they work with كل شيء مظبوط بيمشوا صح في rules في كل شيء, and هن role model of a good community.
And you set up a page called Beekeepers Lebanon.
Yeah.
Which brings beekeepers together to what, I guess, share insights?
Yeah, for awareness and to help more people to get into beekeeping and to know more about bees and the benefits of bees, from the product, from beekeeping, from the product to the self gain that a beekeeper can gain from beekeeping.
So we'll dance around beekeeping as we discuss, but I'd like to introduce you, Hoda. You're a digital marketer. You're a journalist as well, but you're a co-founder of a brand, a product that you're working on together. So maybe your own sort of backstory with regards to nature, and maybe why nature brings you two together naturally. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. Growing up, I was raised in Damour, so I was always surrounded by nature, by greenery. And my father, after his retirement, he's also now a full-time agriculture. We have actually banana plantations in Damour. So I always had this close relation to nature, but I wasn't very much involved up until COVID, when I started spending more time in nature. And when I actually met Randy, our first few dates together, if you want to say, or getaways were always in nature. We were this united us, like our love for nature, our hope for a greener Lebanon. We were just so tired of being in the city and always wanted to explore greener areas in the country. So we were always. This is like also a core foundation of our relationship, like our love for nature and for the daya as well.
So you guys have actually been together slightly longer as a couple than when you started Poppin Pollen. Mm-hmm. And if I understood it right, it's this week that it's a 1-year celebration for your product.
Happy birthday to Poppin Pollen.
Happy birthday.
So maybe this is a nice way to actually introduce the product itself, and then we can get into the benefits of pollen and why you chose pollen in particular. Because I actually got asked this on social media if this is going to be an episode about honey. And I kept saying no. It's
No.
about pollen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so maybe we... Oh, perfect. And the good news, it still records.
Okay, so we can see Lebanon
Yeah.
living in nature
Yeah,
with no
exactly,
electricity.
yeah. So while it's dark and it's still recording, let's actually get out the product itself.
Yeah.
I think
It's
was it
here.
on one of the tables? Oh, there it is.
عسينا
Yeah.
بس افتحها إذا شيء.
Just to understand, this
Yeah.
is processed
No,
pollen.
it's not processed.
It's not processed.
No, it's 100% organic. The bees make it like this. The beekeepers just take it and dry it because it's usually wetter. So what happens is that the bee goes into the flower hunting during spring, for example, or pollination season.
Yeah.
And pollen is actually like super high in protein and nutrients. So the bees actually eat it. Like it's nutrient for the bees. So the bees collect it like with their, small legs, and then they turn it into a very small ball. And
So those balls are made by the bees?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. That's
Yeah.
that's the,
that's
Yeah.
their shape. Exactly.
That's the final
Can we
product.
open it
the-
again
The
just
bee is
to-
offering
Yes.
you the final product.
yeah. I'd like to see it up close again because that you're not messing around with the pollen.
No, that's the bee pollen. But when we extract, when like the bees make it, it's a bit more wet because it's the pollen from flowers. وفيه كمان the saliva of the bees. So beekeepers only dry it, but they don't do anything else.
So you're literally drying seeds, not
Yeah.
seeds. What are they called?
No, it's like a wet
Yeah.
powder.
Powder. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's
they make it into balls.
Yeah, it's fully organic. It's we take it and we offer for the people. It's very
So the hard part is, I guess,
Organic.
actually getting these one by one. That must be the difficult.
yeah.
That's what requires machinery and patience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually setting the little trap for the pollen to fall when the bee enters the
Right.
hive, right?
Yeah.
So do you guys want more?
And as Huda said.
Can I take more?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. You will live longer. 15 more minutes.
That's an interesting amount of time. How about 15 years extra? Okay, so I'll keep this on the side for now.
And every pollen is from a flower, so you can see the difference of
Yeah.
colors. So the blue is from the lavande, the yellow is from
Yeah,
another
other
one.
flowers. Like each pop of pollen is unique because each comes from one flower or a mix between many flowers, depending on the bee.
So, and I know from MTV, I know that you import Spanish pollen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Spanish pollen is diversified pollen. These are flowers from different parts of Spain, I guess.
No, it's in the same village of Spain,
Oh,
but it's white flowers.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
So this is from white flowers, but it's from the same field. But in Lebanon as well, we have like wildflower pollen, which is also colorful like this.
Okay, so let's actually get into the benefits of pollen. When I taste it, and we'll also talk about propolis in a
Yeah.
bit, I do get a bit of a boost. Or maybe it's psychological, but
I don't think so.
No, it's
No,
real?
it's real.
Okay, so I do feel better. I do. No, really, I do. The propolis more so. I don't know if that's the alcohol effect, but that could be part of it. But this, no, it is definitely something that's sort of a slight boost. What are the exact benefits of pollen? Why do you sell pollen?
go ahead.
So, like the first effect you see when you take pollen is the small energy boost you get, but it's much more than this. Like taking pollen on the daily, you get to experience the full range of its benefits, which is like so. Pollen is one of the world's superfoods because it has so many vitamins like A, B, C, zinc. It has protein. It has iron. So it's so full of minerals and vitamins that when you take it on the daily, it almost ends like your deficiencies. You don't have any nutrient deficiencies anymore, and you have the stable level of energy throughout your whole day because it's a supplement that's completing completing your health kind of. So it keeps you healthy. It takes away your allergies. It boosts your immunity. So you do feel better. Your skin looks better. Your digestion is better because your overall health is better, and everything is related to the food you eat.
Yeah, in cosmetic cream, they use bee pollen.
What is that?
Cosmetic cream, like
Yeah.
I see.
Cosmetics, you can use it for cosmetics as topical use, but it's a different formula. But in the raw form, like this, when you
So we are-
consume it on the daily,
we're offering the raw product, the basic, and you can take it with a spoon or with tea, with coffee, with water, with a bowl of fruits, with.
But this is not something that melts.
it does.
It
Oh, it
does.
does?
We can do a.
Yeah, actually, maybe that would be nice to see how it melts.
Yeah, it melts.
Maybe get a glass of water.
So when it melts, it becomes like a bit yellow. So the liquid becomes yellow. Let
Yeah.
me show you.
We'll get a glass of water to do.
So while waiting, it's important to mention that bee products in general, like honey, pollen, they always need to be in lukewarm water, not too hot, because hot water kills the benefits of bee products. So it's important to take it either in lukewarm water or cold with a smoothie. Actually, the best way, like if you don't want the raw pollen, is to take it with a smoothie, cold.
And why do gym enthusiasts, why do they use pollen? Why is it
It's-
associated with...
It's full of minerals. It's the best supplement to take for your minerals, for your bones, for your after recovery from gym. I will try to.
Like besides
We
the
put
energy
some-
part.
So it's a post-workout thing.
Post and pre. But actually, we have a friend who's an athlete, and he always takes protein shakes. So he has a bit of digestive issues, if you want, like constipation. So bee pollen actually stopped this. Like when he added the bee pollen to his shake, he's
lost
back
weight.
to regular. Yeah,
Oh yeah, right away.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard to melt. I think the
It's
water
powder.
is cold.
So when you mix it with water, it will go back to its initial basic powder.
Okay, so let's assume all of this is correct so far, in that there are advantages to something like pollen. Maybe it boosts your workout activity. Maybe it helps you wind down. It gave me what felt like a soft, joyful feeling around my body. But let's get into maybe why you decided to market it. So are you looking to enter the organic food market? Are you trying to do holistic awareness? Because this is not a standard product. And I know that you sell it mostly in pharmacies.
Yeah.
So maybe the sector you're trying to enter.
Bee pollen is a target for vegetarians at first. So people who don't eat meat, don't consume meat, they have a lack of deficiency in protein and minerals. So bee pollen will adjust your body deficiency.
But it's also good for, we're trying to enter basically the health sector. It's a supplement. So in general, whether it's at a pharmacy or at a gym, it's good everywhere. You know, it's like passe-partout. It fits everywhere. It fits whether you're looking to improve your health or to improve your gym performance or to just have a little extra savory taste in your dishes, because it even elevates culinary experiences.
Less sugar, more pollen. That's our
Have you
slogan.
found it catching on in other areas? Because you mentioned it several times. You can sprinkle the powder
bowls.
on almost everything, and it melts. And you can put it, I guess, in tea, or if I don't know, coffee would taste good with pollen. But I guess
Super.
it does taste
Instead
Yeah.
of sugar, you can use
instead of
bee
sugar.
pollen. Yeah.
But do you find that market is interested in pollen? I've never seen pollen offered anytime I go out, really anywhere, any restaurant, any cafe. I never get the pollen option.
Yeah, in healthy places, by the way. In Lebanon, for example, in fruit bowl shops or smoothie shops, they're starting to offer pollen. We're raising awareness. Actually, we have been reaching out to them as well, and everyone is interested in bee pollen. So, in this regard, when it comes to a natural sweetener, a natural boost, it's being more and more known. But our whole mission, actually, Lindsay and I, was to spread awareness on it. Because whenever we said we have a bee pollen brand, everyone was asking, oh, is it honey? So even in Lebanon, the market is more interested in honey, but because there's no awareness on the benefits of pollen as an individual product alone.
So I'll save Propolis for later.
Yeah.
Because we can share that with the audience too. We'll all get a bit drunk talking about Propolis. Let's save that towards the end. The actual marketing factor, is this something that just extends from your work and that you wanted to maybe bridge what Randy loves doing with a business model that in a way you're trained for? Is that your role in this?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Small business operator that finds a beekeeper
Yeah.
and decides to sell something together.
Yeah, I mean, he introduced me to this product. But to be fair, Randy had always this business mindset. He always wanted to, let's do something. I think together we're a good pair. We have very different skills, like in very different areas that complete each other. So we always had this idea that we wanted to do something together, like businessy. But it just happened randomly that he was actually at a beekeeping workshop, and then he came back and he told me, listen, I need to introduce you to this product. It's so good. But we did not have the intention to sell it at first. We were just taking it personally. And when we saw that it had so many good effects on our personal health, I said, okay, man, this is such a good product. Let's just market it and sell it.
And you're the first person that introduced
Yes.
Hoda to Pollen.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get into your pre-Randy phase, pre-Pollen and post-Randy Pollen. Really, I'm going to just speculate you were probably more like me before you started dating Randy, and that it didn't factor into your day-to-day living that you'd ever use pollen.
No,
and then
never.
overnight you become a fanatic.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that process, that's obviously beyond love. You're not doing this just because you're in a relationship. What did pollen exactly do for you that made you want to start a business? So what are the personal benefits for you of pollen?
So personally, when I first started using pollen and I saw the energy boost it gave me after I started working out, that was pretty much it for me, because I'm not into unnatural supplements. I'm not into workout supplements. Like I eat a bunch of junk food, so this wasn't really important for me. But I wasn't to workout supplements, and I wanted something to improve my personal performance at the gym. That's basically it. So
it goes back to health.
It goes back to health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes back to the health effects I saw, and then everyone around me. For example, I made my parents try it. Over time, over a week. I said, please take this every day over a week. And they did. And they told me, like, we're really feeling more energized. We feel good. So everyone was feeling good. We were feeling good. So.
And is there a specific moment where you both realized you could actually sell this together? Is there something you saw? Did you see a gap? Did you see people reaching out to you directly, wanting to use this?
It was a bit shy from the audience at first. People tend to go for honey. So in 1 year, I think we did a lot of good job for a good awareness for bees and the product of bees from bee pollen. So now we can see people talk more about bee pollen, and we did a good impact.
No, but I'm curious why. Okay, before you meet, there's no product like this, and then suddenly there is. What is it exactly that made you decide I can sell this?
Probably the gap in the market, because whenever we were going to bee product shops, everyone was selling pollen, honey. Everyone was asking about honey. Even when we opened the pollen brand and we branded it as it's pollen, bee pollen, people were saying, oh, it's honey.
Right.
So there were zero awareness. So we wanted to bridge this gap, and yeah.
But there's two things you have to do then. You have to spread awareness while you're spreading your product.
Yeah.
So that's two jobs at once. Do you find that it's financially successful? And is it financially successful because you're actually going to these shops and explaining it?
I think we were easy on ourselves, so we went on our own pace. So the place we go, we were talking with the bartender, with our community. We were spreading. We were happy to help and to spread and for the awareness. It's like you are helping the community for changing from sugar and from unhealthy products to go for a healthy and organic and natural product. So it was very fun. Yeah, I think it was fun, and we learned a lot, and we met a lot of people. It was very interesting.
But you mentioned bartender.
Yeah.
So you're going to bars as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So is it really a one-by-one operation? You're going to specific locations.
Industries like alcohol industry, tea industry, juice industry, food industry.
Yes. We wanted also Randy, that's mostly Randy's work on the ground, because he was always like, I know we can introduce pollen to a bar. Let's introduce it to a gym. So it was very diverse and everyone was accepting the product. So I do think it is a financially successful product, of course, because it attracts so many different audiences. It has so many uses. Like it's not only for the healthier people. It's actually for fancy alcoholics, for example. There's an alcohol Prosecco. Poppin pollen Prosecco. So there are so many ways to incorporate it in your diet. Sometimes you can also just add it over sweets that are super unhealthy, but there's pollen, so it's a bit of a new topping. It's pretty. It's a special product in terms of benefits and in terms of being unique.
Have you found reluctancy from anyone? Because I would say from me, hesitation. I would say from me, as somebody who's a bit not cynical, but maybe dismisses this at the beginning. Have you found people saying, I don't need this, I have whatever, I have honey?
I'm taking pills from the pharmacy, I don't need. I'm taking protein shake, I don't need. I'm taking minerals, zinc and pills from the pharmacy. But شو بدنا نعمل؟ مقتنع هيك.
Yeah, we also had some people tell us pollen won't work, you have to sell honey. And we were like, but there are so many honey brands and you don't know which one to buy.
And you can't fake a pollen. You can't fake it. But there's a lot of fake honey on the market, so that's a difference.
Meaning you can't actually artificially create pollen. There's artificial honey?
Of course, yes. With sugar.
Oh. The cheap honey, basically.
Right, yeah. So that's mixed. That's sort of, Okay, so we'll get to Propolis in a bit, because that's the fun one. You're in your beehive. You're making the queen bee happy. You're making sure she's laying her eggs comfortably. You're risking your life. You mentioned earlier on MTV, 4,000 eggs are laid per day.
Yeah, in high season.
High season, right. So you're doing this as a hobby, but also it's a passion, and it's a family tradition. So you're looking at the bees.
And you're helping the bees. When you are beekeeping, you are helping the bees to grow and to build their hive and to expand.
Right. And then you see them extracting pollen, because that's what they do. They're bees, taking it to their beehive. But you decide to interrupt the process, get in the way, and steal the pollen. Do the bees suffer as a result? That you're selling what they do for survival? Yeah,
you should always manage to equilibre between what you are taking from them and what you are keeping. And all the beekeepers try to keep, like, when you extract even honey, you should keep a bit of honey for them so they can live and eat and consume. Same as bee pollen, you should leave the quantity of bee pollen in their hive. So because the queen needs bee pollen to lay eggs. If there is no pollen, there is no protein, there is no nutrition in the hive, so the queen can't lay eggs.
So there has to be a steady amount of pollen going in.
Yeah.
But you're micromanaging a hive in a sense. So that's I did not know beekeepers do this. That they actually, in a way, they're farming.
Yeah, you should always try to check on the hive so you can see what they need, if they have a lack of pollen, honey, or if they have a virus. Like as a beekeeper, you should know everything what's happening in the hive. So always you should check in the hive what is happening.
And you change their location from...
Yeah, as a beekeepers, يعني if the hive is in the winter بتنزلهم على الواطي. So the spring starts early in the coastal area. So ببلش عبكير so بيخلص عبكير. خلص الموسم in June. ما في شي بقى بدك تطلعهم على العالي أكتر. So that's how we work as a beekeeper. بدك دايما تأمن لهم a good climate, a good area with a good plantations and climate.
Now you're importing Spanish pollen because it's cheaper, right? And maybe the health standard is already there; it's certified. But before doing this, you were using your own pollen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a feel for what Lebanese pollen tastes like. Is there any difference?
Not a lot, but we don't dry it in Lebanon. First, second,
You don't try it.
we don't
Dry it.
Dry it. You don't dry it.
Yeah, and second, we don't have a lot of types of flowers. So, لأنه you should when we extract bee pollen, we extract for 3-4 days only. So, the whole 3-4 days, there is not a lot of types of flowers. موسمهم بيكون ماشي. So بيكون موسم one type of flower or two. So you will see same color of pollen. You know, now you can check Spanish bee pollen. They have a lot of variety. So the taste will change. You know, the Lebanese bee pollen is same taste for.
So I imagine a beekeeper in their element are probably cool-headed, zenitude-like, very, very, very calm people.
Yeah, only on camera, not on.
Oh, on camera. Well, yeah. I mean, avoiding getting stung by bees, you have to be maybe at a certain. I think your heartbeat has to also match.
Yeah.
You have to be calm and patient.
Because they feel you.
Yeah.
So when you are nervous, they feel you are nervous. You can't تحسسهم بشيء إنه you're afraid or you're. They feel everything, the bees.
Okay, so that kind of, it's not solitude, but there's a sense of isolation there. You're busy with your bees, tending to the beehive, extracting your pollen, and here comes a social media sort of train and wants to take this product online. So let's talk about how you use digital marketing to sell this. Is it simply a matter that you literally approach different shops online and say, look at this beehive, look at Randy, look at how adorable he is with his suit on, and look at our pollen, look at the whole industry. We can sell this stuff together. I mean, what exactly are you doing?
So actually, to market our product, we were more doing in-person meetings. We were not reaching to businesses online, but we used our online platform mostly for exposure and for awareness. Like we were spreading facts about bee pollen. We were more into information online and to show like our pretty product, you know, because bee pollen is such a good product raw, but you have to market it well as well, because you have to make people want it. It's a new product; they know nothing about it.
So social media for awareness, not for the actual.
Yeah, social
sales.
media was for awareness, and so we do take sales. Like people can message us on our page. We do delivery. We deliver our product. But we rarely approach businesses via social media. No, it's mostly in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save the best topic to after Propolis, because that's the stuff I think I want to talk about the most. Let's try Propolis, and
All
let's
right.
let's. Do you recommend just doing drops?
Yeah.
Share drops.
It's
Okay.
better.
Yeah, so
let's
usually
do-
for Propolis, by the way, can I
Yeah.
dive into the benefits?
Please, and let's just. It's bees.
Yeah, it's
glue.
bee glue, the glue that bees use to either close the hive or to protect themselves from animals. They just stick.
I love the feeling of this stuff. Hey, Randy, come back.
So you need 3 to 5 drops per day. And for
Yeah.
example, if you have an allergy or an inflammation or an infection, you can take a cure over 2 weeks. You take at night and in the morning, but only for a limited time, like for 2 weeks, and then you stop for a month. If you want to take it, if you want to consume it daily,
Why do you have to stop?
so it still has a good effect. So it's still
Oh,
beneficial for you.
Why? Because the body just adjusts to it.
Yeah, sometimes. So you can either take it also 1 time per week or 2 times per
I
week,
love
3
watching.
drops.
This is just so amazing.
So it clears your throat.
Randy, فيك تمشي بالجميزي and just.
It can, so it can clear your throat. It's good
Yeah.
for coughing. It's good for digestion. I think this one is easier to consume. You know, it's drops. Pollen sometimes it's sometimes people don't feel like
No,
chewing.
but I
you
get
know?
the kick from this.
Yeah.
So is that really just this alcohol makes it?
With bee pollen.
No.
With
Propolis.
propolis, yeah.
Yeah. Is that the difference that I'm feeling? That I'm getting the alcohol boost?
Yeah, look, Propolis, يعني it's very known for his specialty بقد ايه بيفيد يعني it's very يعني in pharmacies you can يعني
It's easily found.
it's
More than
easily found,
pollen.
yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean there's a jolt.
Yeah.
So can this happen with pollen if you were to liquefy it?
No, even if you take it liquefying pollen.
With
If you were to make it like propolis, in other words, pollen drops.
it's gonna be new on the universe.
What?
It's gonna be new. Maybe
new
we will try it. I don't know. We didn't
Yeah, but
have
usually we
the
melt
idea
it.
yet.
We
Oh, you
melt it with
melt it.
coffee or no, but we mix it with coffee or as Randy said, tea.
But can pollen end up like propolis? In other words, drop form? Can you actually do that?
I think so. I think everything's doable, no?
We had a friend who
'Cause
did a cocktail with vodka and gin, so
Infused in pollen.
infused with pollen.
Okay.
So yes, we can do this.
Marketing for the alcoholics, That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show me again what happens with the water? Can you do a few more of the propolis?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just like because it's crazy. Oh, it's still there. I see. So that doesn't go away. That layer.
No, you can mix it as well. You can show them. So this is a layer of propolis. This is what happens
yeah,
when you add it
right.
in water. And when you mix it, it's white.
So that's the bee glue in its original state.
No.
No.
Its original state it's like a black stone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the one you see sometimes on the trees, there's a gluey substance. That doesn't always come from bees, but it's very
Yeah.
similar to miel.
That was syrup.
Some of the syrup of trees.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, so it's like that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
they extracted from سمغ of شجر. و so كمان البروبوليس بياخد لون الشجرة. For example, يعني صنوبرة بياخد شيء سنجان. So
And this is a bee's way of trapping intruders into the hive.
no. Actually, they use propolis at first to close the gaps in the hive. Like when عم بيفوت هوا بيسكروها.
Right.
And if an intruder, like a lizard, come in to eat the pollen, the lizard come in the hive to eat the pollen. So they kill him. And then no, because it's very heavy, they can't move it out. So they cover it with propolis. They mummify the animal in the hive.
They're brutal inside the hive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see يعني at the end, starting spring, you open the hive and you can see, maybe you can see a lizard like mummified like this, and animals mummified.
And the bees are they eating the lizard, or they're just killing it?
They only cover.
They just cover it.
Yeah, they cover the gap, they cover the predators like lizard, the dead ما يعفن بالhive.
One more question about the hive.
Yeah.
That queen bee, if it's disturbed, that other queen bee, yes. If it's disturbed, it abandons the hive. Does that happen to beekeepers regularly, that you have dead hives?
Yes, it's regular, but we try to fix it ASAP. So what we do, we leave the hive, and automatically they will make another queen. You know?
Oh, another queen emerges, but the same hive is used again.
In 2 weeks they can do another queen. You can check in the hive. You will see a bigger egg. You know, because the queen is bigger, so they form a big house. مش أنو what أنو.
The hexagon, like the one in the wax.
Yeah, بتكون أكبر. You know. And بتكون هيدي هي الكوين. You will see بتكون هي دايما تحت بكعب الفريم. بيكونوا بربوا الكوين. So بيزيدوا لها أكتر رويال جيلي، بيزيدوا أكتر بي pollen, and royal jelly and bee pollen will make the egg grow to become a queen.
So the queen is replaceable.
Yeah.
The hive, you have to keep that safe. So how many hives do you have in your?
30, 40.
Oh,
you know, when you exit, you end the winter. At the end of the winter, بيقشط كم واحد لأنه
Some hives die.
Yeah, some hives dies. So دايما you renew July, June. You know.
Wow, 30 queen bees, and that means hundreds of thousands of eggs every
there's a lot
single
of
day.
data. You know, you should know the age of the queen, the age of the hive,
Its birthday.
أمتين البرزي تبعها, and يعني you should write everything لأنه no way تتذكر.
Yeah, of course.
So even you can في varroa, you know,
the small worms.
Yeah.
Sometimes they kill the bee. These kill the bees.
Yeah, تطلع فوق يعني بتكلها جوانحها للبي.
What is eating it?
varroa.
It's a kind of worm that attacks bees and eats its wings. So you have to protect the bees from the cold, from predators, and from also small insects. So how do you do it actually? How do you protect hives from insects?
بعد ما في دواء بلبنان بنجيب we import دواء من برا هو اسمه varroa. بنشوف وين في يعني في تجار كتير بيجيبوه.
Sorry, medicine for the queen bee?
For all the bees to cure from the varroa.
The worm.
The worm.
Oh, so it's like it's an anti-worm.
Yeah, you should
agent.
do it twice a year. قبل القطف وبعد القطف.
Right.
ما لازم يكون في منه بالهوني. ما لازم. It's not good.
So speaking of a queen bee, yeah, you mentioned you wanted this to go into the episode. We're going to talk about it.
Now we are talking.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah.
If you,
Okay, because I know that Huda, you demand that he calls you queen bee in your love life. Is that right?
لحالة اجت.
What?
I want to have my pollen while I.
What's this rumor, man?
No. So you wanted to talk about what it's like to own a small business and actually be with each other. Ha ha ha, be with each other. Yeah. To actually date. 42-year-old joke, yeah. They get worse and worse. That was one of the worst ones so far. Yeah. There will be more to come, I'm sure. Yeah. So you're trying to actually set up a business together. So there's money. Money, I think, can disturb any relationship. Friendship, family, money always gets in the way. You're a young couple. You got together less than 2 years ago. And literally a year ago, you started a business. And now you even have merchandise, which you can give to people, which is quite nice. And you mentioned that there's a lot of stress on not the business, on the romance, on the relationship.
Yes.
I would never ask guests this stuff, but you wanted to bring it up. So let me sit back, enjoy my pollen, and talk. Tell me what it's like to date each other and sell pollen and, survive. Because the economy is terrible. This country is bitter at the moment. You seem like a very sweet couple. You're selling health benefit product. And you seem to be in your element, but there's stress. So talk about it. Randy,
about it, baby.
Randy, you start.
You start.
Okay, so at first when you open
And then apologize for everything you just said.
at first when we opened the brand,
What did William say?
Apologize.
Apologize.
Oh apologize.
That's worse. Thanks, William.
I think you win.
Thank you.
You win worst joke.
He said Mahani.
Oh.
Oh, he's worse than me. That's great. Apologize.
so
The owner of Aaliya's, we have to laugh when he says these things. So. Good, great joke, William.
I learned business in USG, so I have a
relationship.
Yeah, okay, wait.
Yeah.
So,
So good.
I learned management, and Huda, she has a lot of qualities and a lot of knowledge, and how we say, she knows.
Skills?
Yeah, she has skills.
Okay.
So, as a boyfriend بدك تطلع كل شيء skills بتشوف her full potential. So that's how when you see how I saw Huda working and giving ideas and structuring and planning, wow, I felt in love صراحة. She's a queen. Like I'm a
so
beekeeper,
sorry,
and I work as and I extract the product. So but I know as a farmer, it's difficult to structure your idea and to structure
Yeah. Like, our first issues were, I think that we were both so excited to have this brand. It was, by the way, there are no such thing as, you don't have to say sorry. So I think what was difficult for us, it was not managing money or anything, because Randy comes from a finance background, so he was handling this. I come from a more creative, so we did not care about each other's departments. But I think it was hard to keep up with the brand with, the stress of establishing a new relationship, because we had our personal ups and downs. So it wasn't very stable at first to commit to the brand fully while we were dealing with our interpersonal stuff. So we were always...
Interpersonal means separate issues or
to know each other, because
and the brand helped us get to know each other, because we saw each other's rhythm, temper, when it comes to work, when it comes to managing something,
and dealing with people, with clients, and getting
so after every deal, we were actually having heavy conversations like, Huda, you did this wrong, Randy, you did this wrong. We were criticizing each other a lot. So at first it was a bit difficult to hear this criticism from each other.
Yeah.
But then we used it, like now after a year, we can say it was very beneficial, because now we are on the same wave.
But it sounds like you guys already, the way you said it, you have separate skills. So no one is overstepping on each other.
Yes, but then when you get with a partner and
now
you open
she's
a
better
brand,
than me in finance and
you open a brand.
and,
Now he gives the creative ideas, for example. So we were discovering each other's skills that we didn't know about throughout the brand, and it was a difficult process at first.
I didn't know that. So now you're the creative.
Now Randy actually, yes, he was always like giving me ideas.
I'm managing better than before.
And you're the finance side.
A bit, like I'm more on business development. because Randy, being a beekeeper in nature, he actually has so much creativity in him because he knows more about the bees and the pollen.
You know,
So he's more visual about the, the process, how we can teach people. And I was more reading like my information online instead of, I went with him a couple times to see how it goes, but he was the more visual. And I was actually more into business development, and we didn't know this. So we found this like in the middle, and
So it's enhancing the relationship.
now
Yes.
it is. But at first it was like, oh my God, like I thought I was the creative one and you were the finance guy, and then we switch. So now we're like, I thought I'm the
Even-
creative and you're the businessman now. Like
even
he's the
she's
creative
doing
and
my
I'm,
jokes now.
I'm doing finance jokes now. And he's like, being creative, what's the color palette for our next project now?
What's the what?
Color palette.
Oh, God.
So yeah. Now it did enhance, but at first it was not easy. So we always recommend getting to know each other a bit more before stepping into a brand. But the overall experience gets you closer if you're.
So let me then push a bit further. The expectations of a product can put pressure on a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's say you're not in a relationship, you're just business partners. There's pressure on if sales are not good, maybe the product is not as aware as you'd like it to be. It would put strains on a team. You're a couple.
Yes.
So expectations of a product and expectations of each other. How do you manage that?
But at first we were putting so much pressure on the product because we were building something together. I think we both wanted to impress each other, and we were working too hard on it that we forgot that our relationship was never about the brand. So until one night I was super angry and I told Randy, listen, I don't want this brand anymore. And here Randy told me something,
Thank God.
He told me something that changed like our whole perspective on the brand. You want to say?
You remember?
Of course I remember. Randy said, I don't care about the brand, I care about the relationship more. And this is when all the pressure to make this brand super perfect and make major sales went away. And starting this moment, we were just selling at our own pace, remembering that if we're doing fine, the brand will do fine as well. But if the brand is doing fine at the price of our relationship, of our mental health, knowing that we both have full-time jobs on the side.
Yeah, that's actually the other side. So there's already stress. It's got nothing to do with the product. Yeah, so you're managing more than two things. You're managing your own lives, which are full-time jobs. You're managing a product that you just designed together, and the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah, in Lebanon. The crisis in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Lebanon itself is a big trauma and a blessing.
HR question, like,
So let me ask you
can
then.
you handle problems?
If let's say you have a winning recipe. Let's say you found a way to make things line up just right. How would you describe that? Does it depend on having separate lives, separate skills that can transition but not interfere? I mean, does it really? The way I understand what you've done is that this would never exist had you not been together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you would never come up with this separately. So it only exists because you're together. So how would you define that? What is the winning recipe?
Communication and understand, and those two are main points.
Yeah, and when one is tired, overwhelmed with their own life, the other steps in to take over, the managing. So we both had to learn management skills for this brand and then after the pressure was gone of the pressure of having to make sales, we started seeing Pollen as a way to meet people. We met you through it. We met so many interesting individuals. So for us, it was not like selling a brand anymore.
No, that's not true. He introduced himself to me as a fan of the podcast.
Yeah, he was a fan of the
and then you said, try my pollen. I'm like, oh, hi, Hoda.
Oops.
No, but it worked. I mean, we've done 2 episodes.
And
about
now
pollen.
you're binging on
No,
Pollen.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we stopped seeing it as a product and we just started seeing it as a way to meet people outside of our work. So,
Yes.
and we met super interesting individuals. We met yoga yogis. We met gym people. So we met chefs. So we met bartenders. We met all kinds of people in all walks of life, and we never would have met without the product.
I know little about the startup scene today. I knew much more about it when the economy was in a better place. You're one of the few examples I've heard of. Something started recently, in particular post-corona. So it's in the darkest chapter. I don't know other examples. They don't come to me right away that you're actually able to start something and keep it growing. So have you met other people in this world that have had similar stories, successful startups?
Yeah, you know, when you are in crisis, so people try to find a way to stay in this country and alive. So we met a lot of interesting people, like
Danny.
Danny.
For example. We met a friend who makes.
Cheers, Danny.
Yeah, we met a friend, for example, who makes organic tea, an organic tea brand, but it's like spiritual tea. It's called Deep Trip. We met so many people who are doing their own. Everyone now in Lebanon seems to be doing their own thing. Like I'm not sure how their growth is going.
Successful startups.
Yeah.
Do you meet other people that are able to do this now? Because it really depends on having.
You need to create a community, and like we support each other. Okay, Huda and me, we are a good team, and we support each other. If one of us is down, the other support. But for example, other startup, there's people starting. They are alone. You should always keep pushing them. Yes, let's go. We can enhance here, and we can help you in here. So we created a cool community of startups and entrepreneurs.
What I've seen is nature has become more important.
In Lebanon.
Yeah, this is
And
recent.
worldwide.
But my limited window really is seeing how people are caring more about nature and about their own individual well-being. So you have people, not to make fun of it, I don't want to be too hard, but yeah, you do have these yoga retreats. I don't personally take them that seriously, but it seems to work for them.
Yeah.
You have a lot of health-conscious activity. You have a lot of camping, a lot of nature-specific activity. Some of it is business-oriented. Some of it is literally you're renting property to use as a campsite. There's sometimes a financial angle to it. It seems like this would fall better in that community's orbit. Those that are more protective of nature, or maybe have an appreciation.
We found ourselves more relaxed and happy in nature. So we chose to go do camps, do hikes, and do activities, outdoor activities. It's we chose. Mm-hmm. So we can instead we can stay in Beirut and Ashrafi and live our life in Ashrafi, go have a drink every night and wake up, have a coffee. But instead we chose to live to choose a more wild life.
Yes, and Poppin Pollen is in its essence. It's not a very. We didn't start it for it to be commercial. We really did it for awareness. So it was really to touch people and to introduce them to a product that will actually be beneficial for them, for what it is.
Physical and mental health awareness. Yeah,
that's what we need as a human.
Yeah, and especially as people in Lebanon, I think we needed this. We don't need a brand that will just sell out and be good for a year or two and then die. We needed something sustainable. To encourage people that it's fine if you're finding comfort in nature and not in the typical activities we do as Lebanese people, like party, shop like crazy, eat at fancy restaurants. No, in more simple things, because it's more accessible to everyone as well.
That's holistic, I guess. That's the word, right? It's both mental and physical.
Yeah, but it's more it is holistic, but it's also more natural. We wanted it to be a very down-to-earth brand. Very accessible to everyone, and just spread awareness on something that is around us. Have you ever not seen a bee? everyone has seen a bee in their life. They're all around us, and
Yeah.
we just have to, you know, admire these little creatures and what they do.
One more question.
Thank you, Queen.
The king bee.
And I wish there was something called it that doesn't exist. It's the king on the chess set is the least.
Maybe Randy's TikTok page if he opens one.
So it's nice to see that you have something that's easy to access. The branding is quite funky. It's user friendly. Even the Propolis, the made in Spain. Is there any intent on making this a Lebanese product? And I don't
Yes.
mean the packaging. I mean the machinery. Actually, finding a way to make it affordable.
Yeah, you know, in Lebanon we have all what we need. We can be self-sufficient. Our nature is perfect. We have the best climate. So what we are doing now, the money that we raised, now we are investing in beekeepers and Lebanese beekeepers to help them to get the material. But we still have
Yeah,
a
we
big
still have
amount to
a long
to
way.
get. A long way.
And that means just finding the equipment that can make it cheaper.
Yeah, they can make bee pollen more like they can make high quality Lebanese bee pollen.
Right.
This is what we want to do, and to empower beekeepers to also make it, because for now honey is more beneficial for them in terms of sales, and they have more experience in removing honey, but there's not more experience and much experience in making pollen or in extracting it from the beehives.
Yeah, and the difficulty that we are here in Beirut, you know, we need to communicate with the beekeepers that are in south or in the north or all over the Lebanon. So
time constraints because we have.
Is there anyone selling Lebanese pollen?
yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot.
there is Lebanese pollen,
Yeah, but not dried. you
not
know.
dried.
Or
Okay.
even if
And-
it's dried, it's very small quantities.
Yeah, very
Like
small
it's-
quantity.
Okay, so you're still dependent on importing pollen for larger sales.
Yeah, but now we are helping Lebanese beekeepers that they have Lebanese bee pollen. We are helping them to sell their product. So we are buying their product and we are selling them.
Yeah, we're selling Lebanese pollen with Hazik Mizik, for example. If you know her,
Yes.
she drives the super cool van.
Yeah.
So she insists on having everything local, and we always wanted to empower Lebanese beekeepers. So we're, you know, buying their pollen, helping.
And by
them.
buying, you are supporting and تحمسهم like to yes for next year. But like,
I want more
in
pollen.
the season, I will buy 100 kilos.
So in
from
her
you.
case, she has to use Lebanese pollen from your
Yes.
beehive. So you have your own Lebanese pollen on the side. I see. So mass
Yeah.
sales,
But it's not a big quantity, so
Yeah,
we can't
exactly.
afford to you know.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So for the background, the science of beekeeping, the actual life of a beekeeper, all that stuff, that's covered on MTV. I'm not going to repeat that, but I'm going to merge these stories together because they feed off each other. I'm glad you guys are still together after all that stress of putting a business together.
Yeah, we learned a lot, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, and it's actually fun to taste your product for the first time. It's delicious. I like both, the
Thanks.
raw, but I do like propolis more.
Yeah.
I am
It's
maybe
medical propolis. It's more medical.
I need some more medical propolis. So let's take a.
Maybe الملك الطاووق we can add توم محل التوم.
Propolis. I might actually then buy Melakato.
Yeah. Or after eating, actually, because it removes
Yeah,
bad
after-
odor
Bravo.
from your mouth. So after
Oh.
malak tawu, just drop in some
Drop,
propolis.
yeah.
Before you're gonna kiss somebody, put some
After
propolis.
Yeah.
smoking, you can try. You can take propolis. So you can.
So-
It will cleanse your mouth and.
We'll take a
your
5-minute break. Okay, we'll let audience ask questions afterwards. Maybe we'll talk about your sexual advice as well using pollen, which you seem to emphasize regularly. We'll leave that to the Q&A. All right.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Thanks for that. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you,
you.
Ronnie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. before we get to the Q&A, before we let the audience ask questions, you wanted to tell me the sexual advantages of pollen.
Oh,
So,
Randy.
Randy, go ahead.
Okay.
Huda, you're next, by the way.
Oh no.
Bee products are known for,
No, but could you say it in a way that's very scientific? So, according to research,
according to many
many
feedback
trial and errors,
and experience,
yeah.
bee products are known for their energize, for giving energize. So you can see our logo is Boost Your Day. It will boost their health and
Sexual energy.
sexual energy.
Is he this sexy when you're trying pollen together? Okay, so it has these are what mythical. Like what is this? Generations ago,
Actually-
somebody tested pollen and had a good night.
They say that people that for males that ما بيجيبوا أولاد
Yeah.
شو مو تكنيك.
Yeah, impotent.
So bee pollen will help them to
have kids.
have
Yeah?
kids. Yes.
Wow, it increases fertility.
Yes.
I didn't know this.
I
But
didn't
even,
know.
by the way, even for women, and I personally experienced this, that bee pollen also helps you stabilize your cycle. So because your body is getting all the nutrients it needs, you get a more stable cycle as well. Like period.
And that's scientifically proven?
Yeah. No,
Yes.
like not saying. Yeah. I mean, there are research on it. There are research.
Okay. Interesting.
We did a lot of research, and by growing our community, we learn from our beekeepers' friends. So a lot of people that they have a lack in sexual activity or شو تاني واحد؟
Performers or fertility.
fertility.
issues.
They use bee pollen and
And it worked for them. Yeah.
And
even-
gelée royale, you know. Gelée
Yeah,
royale.
it's royal jelly, by the way. Like when you go to pharmacies, some pharmacies sell something like special honey, which is basically a mix of honey and pollen and royal jelly, and it gives you a massive boost. It's like the nature's Viagra.
So royal jelly is the added component.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of these things are the reason you would take it in the gym too. It's just more energy.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
royal jelly is very intense. You cannot take it. You cannot consume it on the daily like bee pollen, right? Like royal
Yes.
jelly, I don't know how often it should be consumed.
يعني هلا not a lot. You should be careful about royal jelly لأنه في يأذي عنده bad effects. So you should use it once every 4 days. يعني.
It's very intense. Yeah.
Okay.
And a small quantity. ماشي يعني أنجا.
Yeah.
Not even a spoon. Less than a spoon.
I hate to see how that ends up.
هلا we'll do it. نحكي بعد شهر.
Yeah, exactly. No research, please. So, the friends of these two, ask them questions, please. And be as intimate as you'd like. They spoke about everything tonight. Mr. Tea Maker, Trippin' Tea, is it?
No, that's not him.
You're not Danny?
No, this is not him.
Oh, you're Danny. You're Danny. Who's Danny? Actually, it's you because they showed me your account once.
Identity crisis
Okay, so
now.
question Danny. You have the microphone. You can ask a question.
Okay, so I think my first question would be for Randy. So, I mean, you spoke before that we're currently in a huge economic crisis that basically we hope to see an end for, but we don't. But within this crisis, and apart from Huda, what made you think, oh, it's a good time to start?
There's no good time to start. You should try. At first, you try, and if you see a potential, you keep going. You see, at first you need to do some testing on the market. you do some research. You go ask people, make them try your product, even from label packaging to selling.
Yeah.
Wait.
There's no right time to try,
Yeah,
and
there's
basically just go for it anytime.
Yes. Create a good team and go ahead. Really.
Question number 2.
Ask them all together.
Oh, let's ask another one. Yeah.
Sorry. So during one of your talks, you highlighted that pollen has a healthy effect, but then you also said that you can use pollen as a topping for desserts, like unhealthy sugar. So how would you try to market this healthy pollen onto unhealthy sweets and desserts and like the benefits of it?
So here comes a different market target. Like we have the market target that is into healthy stuff. They would probably use pollen either as a raw product or mix it with honey, with natural sweeteners, etc., or even in tea. But for example, because we want to make pollen seem accessible, because pollen is accessible to everyone, to all markets, to all tastes, healthy or unhealthy. We don't want it to be seen only as a healthy product, only for health fanatics. We want it to be seen as a fun product for everyone. Like you can have it with your alcohol, with your desserts. So this is why we want it, because it is, and we want people to see it as well the way we see it, as a fun product that is just good with everything. Your healthy tea to your unhealthy desserts.
That's actually a good question, though. Can you actually market it in a way that it targets, I don't know, what you said are unhealthy desserts?
Yeah, I use her words.
Yeah.
She said unhealthy desserts.
Yeah.
Can use fancy toppings.
Right, yeah. Is there a way to actually spread that?
We tried the ice cream with bee pollen. So, bee pollen ice cream is full of sugar. So after consuming 1-2 spoon, خلاص you're enough. مش قادر بقى تكفي sugar. So when you add bee pollen, literally you can finish all the ice cream box.
Exactly, and we tried this. So it increases taste because of the texture. So people, for example, why do we consume chips so much? Because they're salty, they're rich in texture. So pollen, for example, can add texture to your desserts, which makes people consume it more. It's vibrant, it's yellow. The best color in marketing is yellow, for example.
And
so
the taste.
The taste is sweet as well.
And flowery.
So it's unique, and it's a combination that you cannot make unnaturally. So you have to use the raw product on the desserts for the very special taste of it.
Even on chocolate, you can add it on chocolate.
And because it gives you, for example, a buzz. Speaking of unhealthy products like alcohol, for example, some people also use it with alcohol, like pollen prosecco, because it gives you the mix of the buzz from alcohol and the extra buzz from pollen. So it's like a very unique experience.
And when you add bee pollen, you can decrease the use of sugar in the product, like in alcohol or in the dessert.
So you use less sugar anyway.
Yeah.
We'll save your last 2 questions for later. Samir. Oh, actually, maybe we can go first to...
Do you think you can merge between the social aspect and the commercial aspect in the future, or you have to separate them?
Aspect and the selling aspect of the pollen. You want to answer that?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, of course. So actually, because Poppin Pollen started with an idea of raising awareness and empowering beekeepers. It was always Randy's goal. So, and at Poppin Pollen, we are aiming to, like, the profit we make, we are not using it for personal purposes. We are actually using it to either empower beekeepers by buying, their stock of pollen, giving them tips. And we are also aiming to buy the drying machine, the pollen drying machine that many beekeepers can use. So we are using our marketing skills and, our trustworthiness on the market to help other beekeepers either sell their products or to empower them with, providing equipment for them. This is our goal.
I didn't know you put the money back into the
The
beekeepers.
investment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started with a small investment, and now we are really using the profit. And a small point that from last year to now till now, we can see you can see that the price of bee pollen on the market and the awareness is actually working. You know, there's a lot more of you are hearing more about bee product like propolis, like bee pollen. So beekeepers are now tend to go more for social media for marketing and to sell on the e-commerce and to spread awareness.
Were there other digital marketing questions? Julia, did you have a question? Yeah? Julia has a question. Julia has a question.
So first of all, how did you start beekeeping? Like, was someone in your family a beekeeper already?
Yeah, actually, all my Asians were. We were always having a hive in the house, you know. That and my dad started from. My dad knows all how to raise a hive, but he never wanted to grow his production, you know.
Okay.
So since I was a kid, I was going helping my dad and my uncle and all my relatives. So I grow in a community of beekeepers.
Okay. And then a second question. So you said that the bees feel when you're nervous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I heard. I don't know if it's true that like dogs smell the fear. So is it something similar for bees? How do you see that they feel that they're nervous? Like how do they react when you're nervous?
When they feel that you are weak and you fear, I think they will feel
The adrenaline. I think dogs and animals in general have certain adrenaline receptors when we are nervous.
How do you see that?
Do they attack you?
Yeah, they will attack you, and you will. And if you don't confront them, they will come like bite you very easily.
How do you confront them? Like you stay calm?
You stay calm. You use the good material, like we use. I would say madkhane.
Vapor, like something that's.
We smoke.
Smoke.
We light up a small like za'atar and aromatic plants, so they can smell good vibes and so that's it. Even I was into zookeepers to learn more about animals. So all how we say all animals, they feel you, they feel us. So we should always be calm and we should always act in a good way.
Please, yes.
You mentioned that you are importing from Spain.
Say it louder. Sorry.
You said that you are importing from Spain. So did you see مثلا, if there is in the region you can as well import? Or you just checked in Spain?
Spain is...
Let's say Syria, Jordan...
صراحة I never went to Syria and maybe, but Spain is known for its quality and we have a certificate. You know, we buy a certification with a lab test, it's all certified, so we don't need to worry about anything, and they are very transparent with us, you know,
and ethical.
So that's what we need from a supplier.
Spain is the largest distributor in the.
It has one of the best bee pollen.
Yeah,
and
that's what makes it cheaper. In other words,
it's not cheaper, but it's more abundant. Like because when we started Poppin pollen, we also wanted a stable stock. We did not want to be out of it, and in Lebanon it wasn't stable.
But actually,
because it's not easy to import from one. Yeah, you can't this year from this supplier, and the next year, the next batch, even for another supplier. It will take time. It will.
But it's the right question that you could literally next door. I'm sure there's ways to access
Syria.
cheaper pollen, and it's reliable. Is everyone in the world importing Spanish pollen anyway?
In the world?
I mean, if let's say you go to New Zealand and you want to import pollen, are you still importing Spanish pollen?
Yeah, they're
We
the
don't
best.
know. No, but we don't know actually. Yeah, like I think they have maybe they probably have their local stock of pollen. Like in New Zealand, it's a huge country. There are more laws protecting beekeepers, for example, or the environment. So.
Right. So
We wanted it to be an ethical brand as well. This is why we're not importing from regions, from countries in the area as well, that we had to do double checking on the testing and on the stock.
But just thinking in terms of the price to import, I'm guessing you could go to Cyprus or Turkey and also import pollen. But is there an advantage to Spain? Do they have something that other countries don't have?
They used to export, so they have good price list, and that's it. So they help the client. So it's they have a website. You can
Yeah.
So it's easier.
Yeah,
it's
for the
easier.
business.
That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
But hopefully soon we will become self-sufficient as Lebanese beekeepers. That's what we are aiming, because حرام يروح مصرياتنا على
Import,
exportation.
of course.
Sure, yeah.
And we have all the resources. We just need a bit of awareness and knowledge.
Yeah, and when there's a demand on Lebanese bee pollen,
Yeah.
as it grows, this is our goal. As
Right.
the demand grows on Lebanese bee pollen, then of course we will have more providers here. We will even become our own provider.
Mr. T-Man had two more questions. Simon, yeah? Four more questions?
Let me get mine in
Sure, yeah.
just because. All right. So a while back, there was a bit of a crisis with bees. It was an international thing where bees were dying off because of,
Climate
rash
change.
وكل شيء.
climate, the expansion of the human population, whatever. So, yeah, pollution, a lot of that. So, how much of that awareness or that kind of what part of that story, for instance, enters into your awareness when you're talking about pollen and
Yeah. So good question. Actually, when the crisis, I know Einstein said that if there's no bees, human will die in maximum 4 years. So, as a Lebanese beekeeper, we got a lot of help from international NGOs. So to help beekeepers all around the world. So we created a community. There's a lot of beekeepers in Lebanon. They went to learn beekeeping in Italy, for example, and in other countries. So they helped the community worldwide to connect. And we saw and now we learned a lot. Yeah.
So, and I also think the beekeeper's job is to increase the bee population and keep it up. So, yeah, this is what they're doing. I mean, they're from moving bees from a region to another. I'm sorry, what? From moving bees.
French NGO.
From moving bees to a place and another, you're also protecting them and protecting them repopulate and stay alive during hard times, winter times. Beekeepers are feed bees also when they don't have enough protein. So
Yeah.
you are farming them in a way that it is needed when because of climate change and because
We
of the
got a lot of
pollution.
help from international NGOs, from as I said, Varroa. So we imported
Worm.
the medical, the worm. So it cost. So we got it for free, and when we were in crisis, since 2019, we are getting in a good price.
And because now there's more awareness, there's more investment into beekeeping and into initiatives that help beekeepers. So,
And I think the international NGOs are seeing the Lebanese beekeepers acting like ethically and good, and they.
But
they have
actually,
good
worldwide
manners.
now the bee population is increasing again. It's not at risk as much as it was anymore.
Yeah, we can see a lot of new startups.
And progress.
Yeah, and now we have like Google, Facebook. They are creating they are for exhibition for their employees. Like they are calling for an example in Canada. It's becoming urban beekeeping. It's a new. Hopefully one day in Lebanon, but in Lebanon, urban beekeeping it.
Disaster.
Yeah, the motarat بيقتلونا.
Exactly. Yeah.
So worldwide, it's becoming more trend.
You know what I liked about when we discussed this on MTV, you even talked about things that you shouldn't have to worry about. Your neighbors destroying your work unintentionally. It could be that they just don't know that what they're doing is going to kill off.
Yeah,
a
there's a lot
beehive.
of disasters when a municipality goes and to kill mosquitoes, for example.
Right, yeah.
برشوا.
Yeah.
Disasters بيصير يعني.
And you mentioned you have to go to your neighbors and explain what you're doing so that they actually are aware that you have.
Yeah, you should always have a good relationship with your neighbors and with the municipality. And you should you should put your bees very far from population.
Yeah.
Like deep in the forest. That's it.
Just a follow-up question, very quick. What is the problem of the bees dying off? Why is this such an issue? And this is for the audience's benefit.
Main issue is
Pollination.
pollination.
Yeah.
المشكلة هي الرش.
I know, like, what are the effects of less bee population? You mean? Yeah.
Of less bee population. حرام ببطل less of bee product, less of honey.
Yeah,
less
but also less of plants, less of pollination. We won't have variety anymore.
Avocado. The avocado needs a bee to pollinate.
Yeah, some plants actually are dependent on bees to pollinate them.
As a beekeeper, we are getting paid to put our hives in special lands, like to pollinate their trees. بيطلع الموسم أسرع. They sell more. عرفت؟ ونحن we are getting more honey, more. موسمنا بيبلش أسرع.
Yes.
بنفيد وبنستفيد.
Gentleman next to the team man.
Hi Randy, hi Hoda.
Hello.
Hello, Bashar.
So I have actually a question that is kind of out of subject because I feel we talked a lot about your business. So my question is more focused on the silent battles that people have when they open a business. And there are two silent battles that are very important, and I feel it's interesting to ask about that. So the first question is, how do you handle criticism from people around you? Like, I know for a fact, when you open a business with such a unique product that is not really around the market, it's not really experienced, you don't find a lot of marketing studies online about opening such a brand, you know what I mean? So how do you handle the criticism of people around you in that sense? And do you have a lot of criticism?
Yeah, at first we face a lot of criticism, and because it's, people tend to go for how we say, for
Commercial products like
commercial
honey.
and السرعة
Theft?
انه يطلعوا مصاري اسرع, so by real estate, by big انه unethical or يعني to be working on a ethical organic product like you should you will grow bit by bit يعني brick by brick يعني منا هينة you will face a lot of problems but you will how you should surround yourself with this community you see you will
with supportive people,
yeah
and seek their advice. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's also about being curious enough to keep exploring the opportunities or the communities interested in your product.
And
For
in
example,
Lebanon-
when we first started, we wanted to start with gyms, and then Randy saw that it works in pharmacies, it works in restaurants, it works with desserts, with alcohol, so with tea. So we were curious enough to explore also the different communities, despite the criticism, because we were seeking like the industries that validate this product as well.
plus I face criticism from my own family because they were working as beekeepers since they were young and they never went on extending and doing to grow. They are like انه خلص مبسوطين باللي عنا on s'en fout. We don't care about others. We have our own community and let's do this. So we face criticism by criticism help us to create more opportunities by doing at first Beekeepers at Lebanon to help and to spread awareness that we all can become beekeepers. If you have, you can start from one hive, and then you can grow and have your production for your family at first. You can benefit you from your family at first, and then you can grow more, and you can and this will help you to learn about nature and you will find yourself you will
Let's wrap it up with final two questions from the gentleman, Mr. T-Man. I don't know your name.
Abdullah.
Abdullah, okay.
Nothing near Danny.
Oh, Danny, of course, it's Danny.
So, final two questions are one, I know that you were working on a special Christmas box to certain people. So, would this be a possibility? Like, could we buy, let's say, a gift box to someone with your products, or
Yes.
is it just a seasonal thing?
هلا
Yeah.
بيزعل.
So we actually also started.
Wow.
We're on
Visual aid as well. I'm very proud, guys.
Thank you so much. So yeah, now we launched after less than a year. On our 1 year anniversary, we decided to launch new products besides honey and propolis, which is honey, local, raw, organic honey. So we're selling it in boxes, and it's a very pretty gift to give for your friends, family, or loved ones. Yeah. So yeah, you can order it on our page, of course, and you can customize it with either honey, propolis, or pollen. So you can choose.
So instead of consuming chocolate and bad, like
Yeah, we want
bad,
a healthy Merry Christmas.
Your last
She
question.
actually answered my next question.
She answered the fourth one? I
Okay,
see.
thank you so much.
Are there any other questions? The lovely lady who joined at the end. I'm sure you have one question. Let's wrap it up with you, actually. Perfect. Let's. You have the last question. Ask Randy anything you'd like. Doesn't have to be about pollen. It could be
might be some of the topics you covered in the talk, but
Anything about beekeeping.
Does he owe your NGO any money?
So actually,
Why did you stop coming to the training courses?
Oh, yes. Great question. Thank you. Randy, why did you stop going to her training courses?
No, actually, this Saturday they do. No, really. But I'm really.
You're praying now? What is that?
Thankful for their help and for spreading awareness. Like, and they are helping us in doing organic.
Bee products?
لا organic نفلح like
I think with
Organic harvesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
with your soft and sensual voice, you can say anything, and I would believe it. Like you didn't even answer the question.
Actually, yes.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
Thanks for the answer too.
Can I ask a question that is sort of related to this? And sorry, no offense to the NGOs, but why, in your opinion, what would I'm trying to reformulate the question in my mind very quickly. Why do we need and to have a reliance on international NGOs, and what can we do to become self-reliant?
Okay, actually, okay. So the medical, mainly what the international NGOs giving us is the material, الماتيريال اللي هو ما في يتصنع بلبنان, like
Some beekeeping stuff.
يعني شيء حديد, iron. So ما في يتصنع بلبنان, هيدي أول شيء. we were facing the currency issue يعني بلبنان, مش قادرين يعني. So كانوا عم بيعطونا ماتيريال ومن صوت لكل شيء بنعوزه. هي ما بيعطونا اشياء اكثر.
So more advanced technology and more advanced methods, and there are even apiculture workshops abroad all over the world. So even local Lebanese beekeepers, they go at their own expense and attend these workshops to learn from the international community. So NGOs are providing these courses for at no cost for beekeepers who cannot afford to leave the country. Like the government doesn't see agriculture, sadly, as a priority, especially beekeeping, because it's such a small part in agriculture for them. And since our government doesn't even care, about our finance sector in the country, they will not give a damn about the agriculture sector. So of course there needs to be more policies in the regard of supporting agricultures. But in Lebanon, our whole system, sadly, we have to depend on the private sector and not on the public one. The initiatives to support
وزارة الزراعة ما عم بتذكر أمتين ساعدتنا حتى كبي كيبرز ولا عنا لجنة. هلا عم نحكي ما عنا سنديكا, يعني ما عنا
syndicate.
But you filled a gap by trying to start it on your own. I mean, you have an account that is meant to bring these people together. So in a way, you're filling in those shoes. I think civil society always does this. I'd never imagined it going into the beekeeping community.
Yeah, in Lebanon, sadly, but in Europe, there are government initiatives that
Right.
support beekeepers.
But in your case, I guess it would be more municipality rather than the minister.
municipality بس بتقلك ما ترش, بتقلها بس ما ترش.
Right, yeah.
يعني we try to be self-sufficient as beekeepers, but like we face in Lebanon, we faced a lot of problems, من crisis. يعني كل شيء برودكت كنا عم نبيع, يعني عم بنبيعه ببلاش, يعني كل شيء حتى اورجانيك كنا عم بنبيع بقصه, يعني ما بيطلعوا لك شيء, ما بيعيشوا لك عائلتك ولا شيء. سو نحن كبي كيبرز حتى كفارمرز ما كانت هينه, يعني كل شيء لبنان بيقطع فيه منه هين. يعني اذا حدا بيساعدك حط ايدك معه يعني وتعلم, and they are helping you to do a good quality, so تتظبط معايير البرودكت تبعك. يعني ما بيجوا بس بيعطوك السوتس, بيعطوك الماتيريال, بيساعدوك تتظبط your quality. بحال حبيت to export, you can export.
So from bringing awareness to people like me who only know this stuff at a distance, but are now almost addicted to certain types. Almost. I had 30 drops. And that's enough. To trying to transition from what is a family tradition and opening up maybe uncomfortable boundaries into offering a product, which I'm sure in itself is a journey. There may even be sometimes family pushback, and that this is more tradition than commercial enterprise. I can imagine that happening, but you decide to do it anyway. So that's two things. starting a relationship in the background and making the relationship part of the business strategy, that in itself is a subject. Making it successful is a very difficult thing. Anyway, despite the economic crash, making it successful is in itself a journey. You succeeded. And taking it further, whether it's into tea, whether it's becoming broader than just gym routine or people finding it in pharmacies, to desserts, to ice cream. I never imagined pollen being part of my everyday life, but now I can see it.
Even.
Alcohol, right. So I think everything you're doing is in the right direction. MTV was last week, Aaliya's this week. Maybe we'll do a follow-up next year. We'll let this settle in a bit, but thanks for joining tonight.
Thank
you so much.
Really interesting discussion.
Thank you.
And thanks to the audience too. Thanks to the
Thank you.
lovely lady for asking the best question I've ever heard. Why did you not come to my training sessions? Best question ever. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Merci. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening and watching. And a friendly reminder to support this podcast by contributing through Patreon or PayPal. All links are in the details box. Until next time, I'm Rani Shatah, and this is the Beirut Banyan.